I'm excited to try this.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and she's excited to try this.
Hello, my name is.
So today on the barrel,
Some fuzz.
Walleye Run 7-year malted rye whiskey.
Okay.
So this bottle was graciously sent to us by one of our supporters, Scott Amos. Thank you, Scott, for allowing us to try this. Allowing us. Thank you for.
Well, technically,
Thank you
we
for
might
giving
not.
us the permission to try.
Technically, we might not have ever if he hadn't
No, that's
allowed
true.
us to.
That's very true because I've never seen this before. Have you? I've never even heard of it before. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen it before either. Color me surprised.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you go.
Can you imagine
shopping.
if I had like a secret Bruzel career where I just went around
You have
hunting whiskeys? I have my own side channel and it's super on the down low. And I'm just like
Yeah.
surreptitiously leaving the house and going to liquor stores all around.
Shout out Bruzel.
Shout out Bruzel. Wait, I just did something weird with my hands.
Well, I'm not going to edit it out.
Dang it.
I wish that I could be like the cool kids.
I should start doing this right now because you're gonna need help with this.
Oh, I forgot that that's on there. I think, from what I know and from what our friend Scott has told us, is that Walleye Run is made by New Holland Brewing, the masterminds behind Dragon's Milk, Origin, and Dragon's Milk, among other things. What is going on?
There's no perforation. So
What?
I think we're both gonna need help. We're gonna need a knife.
All right, I'll be right back. I tell you what I'd rather do. I'd rather fillet a fresh walleye than try to open this thing. You wanted to do something?
Open the bottle.
Oh,
Did you want to talk more about it?
well, I will.
Pot
But
distilled malted rye whiskey, aged 7 years, sweet mash, aged in American oak, 92 proof, so 46%. The master distiller has signed it. What a kind person. Distilled in the Great Lakes, handcrafted in the Midwest, just like me.
You and walleye, one and the same.
And then it just, warns you about the usual warnings from the Surgeon General.
You know what else I'm going to warn you about? Subscribing to this channel.
Oh, yeah.
And becoming a patron on Patreon. If you haven't yet, or if you want to, or if you don't want to, do it anyways. But don't if you don't want to. But if you want to, have at it. Do either one, do both, do nothing.
Oh my god, I think they are definitely more confused than they were before you started speaking. Ooh, it's really in there. Wow. A little bit of glug glug. Satisfactory. Oh, sorry.
A little bit of glug glug, a little bit of dribble. Never killed anybody. Probably can't say killed on this channel anymore.
Yeah, shh.
All right.
It's pretty.
7-year malted rye. Now, I have not had many malted ryes. I want to say I've only had 2 or 3.
I have a malted rye every day.
Do you? Wow.
Whoa. It's been a few days. I'm gonna say it. It's been a few days since I had some whiskey, and it smells very good.
Oh, I get a little, it was sugary, like sugary sweetness. And you know what? There was honestly just a little bit of nail polish remover for me.
What?
But now it went away. Maybe it was just that was just my nose getting used to it. Now we're back to some.
It's
really-
like sponge sugar. It's almost like cotton candy. To me, it tastes like a really delicate,
Yeah.
like a spun sugar.
Yeah, what a sweet nose.
Not like sickly sweet, just smells good.
Yeah, not like sweet, like
No.
sweet nose, man. But also sweet nose, man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting.
yeah.
Cotton candy. Not a huge cotton candy fan generally, but I like the look of it. It's very fun.
Yeah, the rye doesn't jump out at me. Like the actual rye grain doesn't jump out at me, but there's some spices in here. I think.
Oh, wow. It's super, like, I can't come up with another word than delicate. It's not, I wouldn't call it thin
Oh,
or like,
there it is. At first I was like, oh, this tastes thin. It took a while for the flavor to like
no,
grow.
I literally just said to the people that it doesn't taste thin.
No, I know it doesn't, but it tricked me into thinking that maybe
My
it was.
first thought was, yeah, just how delicate it was. It reminded me, like, it's as if I bit into cotton candy, which cotton candy obviously is very sugary, but it's a very delicate flavor otherwise, other than the sugar.
And it wasn't thin. So here's what happened.
Lots of malted rye, though. Like,
Yes.
very malty.
But it like comes in like after for
Right.
me, like after I swallow.
And-
That's when it
and
came in.
beer.
But while it sat in my mouth, and beer. Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's beer on this.
I don't think there's any beer in here.
There's beer on the end.
I don't think it has anything to do with beer.
The beer gods have blessed it.
When I first took a sip, sat in my mouth a little bit, it was kind of like nothing but oak, but not like sweet, dark molassesy like the oaks that you get with like a bourbon. It was just sort of like I don't know, you know like the barrel that we aged whiskey in for our wedding. You got to sort of like season it before you use it, so the wood expands and it seals up nicely with hot water. And I tasted some of that water after it would sit in the barrel for a little while, just to, whatever. And that is sort of what it tasted like, that type of just
Wood water.
wood water. Yeah, initially. But then you swallow and
That's
like
delicate,
all
wood
of those-
water.
Yeah, it's not
Distilled wood.
not thin but delicate. Delicate soft wood.
What every person hopes for. I mean, you don't get beer at the end like that, like just sort of like a hoppy,
I really like that. Yeah, I could see that.
hoppy
like,
malt.
what an interesting growth. Well, what an interesting.
What an interesting malignancy. I think somebody just unsubscribed.
Yeah, that's fine. It's continuing as I go back to it too. It's continuing. It does the same thing where like the first sip, it really is more of a delicate oak, and then like just a wave of the malted rye comes in the form of sort of a sweet beer almost, like you said. Yeah. Like
I mean, I don't know. This reminds me, we just spent so much time at the state fair just a few weeks ago, and this just reminds me of like if I would have a stick of cotton candy and a nice beer in my hand, and the beer's a little bit warm, but it still tastes great, and I'm just wandering around the fair. Just,
I gotta say, it's like the nose set you up for it to be like super sugary sweet.
Yeah.
Because the nose.
And it doesn't taste at all
Smell.
like walleye. Is that what you were gonna say?
That's not what I was gonna say.
It's not as advertised technically. It's so
What a
good.
nice
Thank you,
little-
Scott.
Like, this is really enjoyable. It's not an in-your-face whiskey by any means, I'd say. Like, this is something that, like, I mean, the bottle and the name and everything, like, I want to bring this fishing, Bring this in a little flask. Just out there tossing the lines in, reeling them in,
He does not fish.
hooking them on the tongues, or lips,
Ducks.
snouts. What is a fish called? Well, I know what a fish is called. I just said it. But
Oh, I don't know. Like their beaks.
fish mouth. I am very good at fishing.
Tune in next time when Dustin shows you how to cast a line.
Now that I can do.
Next.